Good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. As some of you might know, I have been traveling all around Thailand. I have been to Koh Samui for a week and had an absolutely amazing time, hence the tan and the really chilled out kind of look. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm with my family, I'm with my youngest son, and it's just phenomenal. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is, I guess, how to be able to live that kind of lifestyle. How do you have a business that you run? You know, I've got my iPad, I've got my phone, my iPhone, and basically I run my entire business operation through that. And you know, that is pretty much our motto and our status quo. How do you run a business, a consultancy, a refund consultancy business from anywhere in the world while doing amazing things? You know, whether you want to be at home with your kids, whether you want to be caring for your partner or your elderly parents, whether you want to just kick back and have, I guess, a more saner existence than what most people do that are commuting or working in some kind of, you know, job, which stands for just over broke, by the way. You know, there's always alternatives, and you know, there is sometimes, you know, when you look at options, you're very confused. And when I very first started on my journey, and that was 20 years ago now, in September 29th, so in about 20 days, it's going to be exactly 20 years since I've started on my journey. And you know, when I started out, the idea of being able to run a business from home or virtually, you know, from your phone or your laptop, was very unheard of, and people laughed at it and people mocked me. And you know, of course I went and did it anyway, and the rest is history. And now everybody wants to do it. Now it's, you know, very doable, very acceptable. And you know, there's terms like, you know, nomad lifestyle, or you know, laptop lifestyle, or all of these things that everybody's talking about. But you know, when I started out with Create, it was very novice, and you know, something that people kind of like laughed at, like ho ho ho. Of course it was the smartest thing. It made sense to me, and I'm sure if you think about it, it would make sense to you. You know, how much does it cost to run a business that makes you 6-7 figures a year? I mean, I'm not talking about, you know, something that's equivalent to just a job, you know, something that's going to make you $50,000 a year. I'm talking about a substantial business that you can develop. And, you know, to be able to do that virtually means no risk, means no on costs, means, you know, none of the horrible, evil things that actually kill business. And that's the model that we offer through the Refund Consulting Program. And not only can we offer it to you in a way that makes sense, we actually help you launch it within 30 days. So our business program, the accelerator program especially, is a 30-day launch sequence. Okay, so it's like, you know, you learn and you launch and then you earn. And you know, we've kind of turned it into a bit of an art form, and we've got a team, a support team in the back end that is right there driving you and assisting you and working through the whole process with you. And so that's what we do. And I do hope that you have a good hard think about what it is that you're doing. You know, last night and fair income, we took a boat. You know, we have, and I'll actually show you a little bit about where I am in a second. But you know, there is river boats. We're on the river right here in Bangkok, and there's river boats that come for free. You know, gorgeous luxury boats that pick you up and take you all the way into town. So you go and puck along the river, and there's luxury little open boat. Gorgeous, gorgeous ride, and you'll see some pictures that I'll be posting up on social media over the next few days. So keep an eye out, because you have a good look at how beautiful this place is. Very different, very dynamic. And you know, I was sitting there, I was thinking about, you know, this quote that I read when I very first started. You know, this was 20 years ago. And the quote was about how 90% of Australians that live in a lucky country retire, okay, with less than $1,000 in their savings account. Less than $1,000. I mean, this was 20 years ago, so let's multiply it. Let's say, you know, if we're talking the same stat, $3,000 as a saving when they come to retire at age 65, 70, whatever it is. How does that make sense? You know, how do you work, okay, 5 days a week for the majority of your life, there's 65 years, right? Except for your childhood, your 18 years. I know I've been working really hard since I was 16, really. I'm a bit of a workhorse. How do you do that and end up with a few $1,000s in your bank account when you come to retire? How does the system, okay, work you really hard and then you end up with nothing? You know, and the people that are really smart, that are considered super smart, okay, they're the ones that buy their own homes, pay for them, yeah? And then when they come to retire, they've got no money, so they have to sell it. So they've worked their whole life to buy this property, this home, their home, the roof over their head, and to be able to live and continue the final 20 or 30 years of their life, whatever it is, you know, that happens from 65 to 90, which is, you know, the average age now for mortality in Australia. They have to sell their only asset. Something is very wrong with our system, and something is very wrong with what we are told, okay, to do and how to do life. And I kind of figured that out. You know, 20 years ago, I was 29, you know, turning 30. I was pregnant with my second child, and something did not smell right to me. And I decided that I am going to take the risk. I am going to, you know, go out there. I was broke as anything. I had exactly $273 in my bank account, and I went into business for myself 9 months pregnant. So and of course, you know, today it's a very different story. Yeah. So, you know, in those 20 years, I have made millions and millions and millions of dollars through my business, and, you know, live a very different lifestyle, have very different things. The point is, though, is not to boast. The point is, you know, you take a risk and you make a stand, and then you keep at it until you start to see the results that you want. That's really what it's about. And anyone that tells you otherwise is lying to you. So I want you to have a bit of a think. I want you to have, you know, a bit of a heart-to-heart with yourself and assess where you're at and what you want. I'm about to go and do a little bit of shopping in Bangkok. I want you to have and share a little bit of what I'm seeing. So I want you to have a good look at where I am and maybe enjoy a bit of Bangkok. So I'll get you to have a bit of a whiz outside to see where we are on the river, and I'll talk to you soon. It's a little bit overcast, but it's a magnificent, magnificent spot. These are the boats that we go on to go into the city. I'll take more videos actually as it gets clearer, and as the city lights come on at night. It's just stunning.